Welcome back to another night of Shtick with Koolfrogg. You know, I sent a community post out earlier today, uh, like 3 o'clock this morning, saying that I wasn't feeling well, that I wouldn't be here. What's up, Winnie? Good to see you, brother. And I was really feeling, and basically what it come down to, in my assumption, is that I got food poisoning. Think I got food poisoning from the dinner I made the night before. Um, Being that I feel great right now. Um, that being said, yes, I will be waking up with Talking Trash and Truth in the morning about 6 o'clock. Uh, my time. That's 8 o'clock Eastern for all you can't figure it out. Uh, I'm I really seriously have to thank Moose Maneuver for actually stepping up and actually helping a brother out. When I was down this morning, couldn't make it to a show. He actually did step in, and I do have to, like I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was very nice of you to do so. Um, do have some news articles to go over here now. Basically, what it's coming down to is time frame, time frame, time frame, time frame. It's all of that. We are on Rumble as well, so if you're so inclined, if you haven't made it over to the Rumble side, go over there, go over to the Rumble side of things, and hit a thumbs up for me. Hopefully, we'll get some chat, going through today, um, or tonight. I really feel bad for my audience. Hey, great liquor, good to see you. And when I say that is because I've actually gone through a growth pattern of hey Suzanne, hey Charlemagne, how you doing? I'm feeling great, and that's basically what I'm saying is I think it was food poisoning of sorts or whatever from the food from the night before, and it's gone. I feel great. So that being said, I do have, like I said, a few things to go over, but I'm limited. I'm limited on time. Hey, Cat Ninja, how's it going? Yeah, I thank you, and uh, basically, what it comes down to is I feel that I'm doing somewhat a disservice to uh, my community that I had built. It was brought to my attention by a couple that this show was the reason that they actually started coming around in the first place. The only thing that I can't actually say for sure on any given night is America's Shirts. Now, that guy, I'm very proud of him. He's actually gone to the point of actually getting an actual job, working that actual job, and staying there, staying true to himself. Because when it comes down to it, that's what he needs. That, and I'm glad that he's actually doing those things for himself. Um, like I said, I can't promise that his appearance at any point in time. Now, he has admin rights. He knows that if he sees that I'm live, that he can actually jump in at any point in time and join me. But now, like I said, I'm limited on time. And why am I limited on time? Because this show, as well as waking up, are not going to go, to the point of not being actually used the way they should be. Screw you winning. We know who's doing that to who. and it's the other way around. So as far as that goes, like I said, I'm proud of the guy. I'm glad that he's actually got something going on, and and I will continue to do what I can to bring this show, Stick with Cool Frog, to you on a nightly basis. Now, when I say nightly basis, there's one night, one day that I've actually said that I will not actually do stuff, and that is Saturdays. That is Saturday. Saturdays are supposed to be left open morning, noon, and night. That's the night. That's the day for me to actually take off and actually, just rest and be ready for the next week to start. Exactly, Charlemagne. When it comes down to it, solo's great. Own it, and that's pretty much what it's going to have to come down to is I'm gonna do what I can to bring you some kind of a limited show of some sort. When I say limited, it's like I don't want to go over 2 hours. So if I put something in my description line, like I did today, Santos, Feinstein, and 1.2 million to Ukraine, those 3 articles have to be done for sure. Now, I do have an actual like 14 articles here. I don't assume that I'm going to get through all of them. I used to be, like do like 20, 24 of them. And I'd sit there for the 3 hours, go through all of them, give thoughts and opinions on all of it. And it really seriously doing 3, 4 hours can be a lot. Hey, Lucky Chucky, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. You're a genius and love your news. Glad that you feel that way. Thank you so much. That being said, because if we do have 6 people sitting here ready for me to actually do some news. Let's do that. Let's hop over. Let's do some news. You like I said, we'll talk more about some of the happenings of scheduling and whatnot as I can actually get that uh, settled and solidified. Um, there's a conversation that needs to be had between myself, America Shirts, and Talking Trash and Truth. All 3 of us. Exactly. What's up, Moose? Good to see you, brother. I would suggest go back the 7 minutes, somewhere in there, and go to the beginning and actually check out what I had actually said, because I actually praise you. Thank you for actually doing what you've done today. Uh, it helps so much. Let's do this. Let's hop into some of this news. So, like I said, those 3, the Santos, Feinstein, and the 1.2 million have to be gone through. Now, I know that I have a large audience. I've looked at the demographics on it. I've like 70% female, and somewhere about like 6 or 7% are over the age of 65. Now, that being said, that's awesome. I'm so excited that's the case, that I actually have the demographic that I have. That's gonna actually lead into this first story here, whatever. So, let's do this. So it says your social security checks could be impacted soon. Here's why. Very, very important to actually understand what's happening with social security checks and what's actually been happening. Did you watch the Trump CNN? Yes, I did actually watch the Trump CNN. Um, I'm gonna actually do a Trump thing in the morning where we'll talk about myself talking trash and truth. We'll actually go through the goings on of the last like 3 or 4 days of everything that's actually gone on with Trump. And the where I watched it on um Crowder. Now, Crowder didn't watch the whole thing. He kind of split through it or whatever. So I found some articles to actually go along with it. We will actually give you, plenty of thoughts on that particular issue. And I call it an issue because I feel it is one. So it says Treasury Secretary Janet warned that if the United States defaults on obligations amid the congressional impasse over raising the debt ceiling, Social Security payments could be interrupted. The interrupted? Like, how much are they going to be interrupted? Or I mean, it sounds like that that could actually take away the Social Security checks. Now, I have two parents that are retired. They're in their 70s, and knowing that their Social Security payments could be interrupted because of the goings on in the United States at this point in time, it's kind of scary and very disturbing. Uh, I'll be looking for it. I watched on Shizzy's. Yeah, we'll definitely cover some of that in the morning. Um, that's 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. That'd be 5 o'clock for you, whatever would be actually going live on that. Uh, let's continue here. It says Treasury finds itself in the position where we're unable to pay all of the bills that come due that day. And this would be really the first time in history of America that we would fail to make payments that are due. Yellen told ABC News earlier in the week. And whether it's defaulting on interest payments that are due on the debt or payments due for Social Security recipients or to Medicare providers, we would simply not have enough cash to meet all of our obligations. Recently, Yellen projected that the federal government will hit its debt limit by as early as June 1st, coming months after extraordinary measures were implemented to stave off defaulting. If the government reaches its debt limit, the federal government wouldn't be able to pay all of its obligations. According to the data provided by Social Security Administration, the agency will take some $1 trillion in Social Security payments. $1 trillion? Oh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money from about 67 million people. That's a lot of money. And, uh, y'all know that I'm a Trump supporter. It's not something that's hidden. I've gone around and I've actually explained myself. I've explained myself over and over again on it. And when it comes down to it, I had my parents complaining that they were losing their butts under the Trump administration when it came to certain things. I could not imagine what they're currently going through right now. Frog House on Rumble side now. I'm on YouTube, so you can see my chat. Uh, did you say something? Because I only see one thing from Great Liquor over there. So, welcome. Glad you're here. Sheeple Hunter. Good to see you. So they have money for millions of immigrants, but not Americans that paid taxes for decades. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. They don't care about any of that. That's what they want to go for. It's it's ridiculous that they're. I think I do actually have something on. I'll have to look through this stuff real quick. Thought I had something. Maybe I didn't. Either way, I had read quite a few articles today or whatever. So it's like when I came across the one that actually um, was talking about immigrants. The pay attention because tomorrow that actually ends. Pay attention because the second that the time hits, you're gonna have so many more people flooding across that border. All hail President Trump. Yeah, I mean, the ridiculousness. Like I said, we'll talk about Trump a lot more in the morning, and the thoughts and opinions on what's going on with him. This is according to data provided by the Social Security Administration. The agency makes some $1 trillion in Social Security payments for 67 million people, with the majority being retirees. Some 48.6 million recipients are retired and 7.6 million are disabled. Another 9.8 million are survivors and dependents, the data reveals. This week, President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy held talks amid the debt ceiling impasse, but neither side has appeared to budge. On Wednesday, the House Speaker accused the Biden administration of ignoring the crisis for 97 days. Since the two last met, while Democrats like Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat of New York, accused Republicans of pushing a partisan bill to raise the debt ceiling. Republicans say they won't raise the debt limit without federal spending cuts in return. But Democrats said that the ceiling should be raised without any preconditions, saying that negotiations over cutting spending should be separate. Uh, I don't get it, and I don't understand how many people don't get that when you spend money and you continuously spend money and push money into other countries, spend printing more money, however, does not actually make things better. It's just Democrats have actually pushed this precondition on us that's what we're supposed to believe, and that's not the way it is. It's not the way it is. I really hate how they actually point the finger at one side or the other. It's two wings of the same bird. Deal with it. Um, July's first Social Security payment is slated for July 11th for Americans with birthdays in the 1st through the 10th of the month. Subsequent payments for people born later in their respective months will get payments on the 18th through the 25th, respectively, according to the payment schedule. Um, why would they actually break it down that way? Why do we care? Uh, I think that must have changed if that's the case, that they changed the dates to it. That you'd probably get paid on the first of the month as opposed to being paid on the 11th of the month. And just pay the people. They paid for it. You shouldn't have the right to actually, fuck around with their money. There's no reason that the government should have anything to do with that. So we work all our lives and pay Social Security and might not get it. F this. Yep, exactly. You might not get it. You might not get a dime. We sit there and we work our butts off for this stuff, to have stuff, to have fun things, and they don't want us to have anything. They want us to have nothing and be happy. Unprecedented. Because the United States has never defaulted, officials say it would be unprecedented. But top congressional leaders and Biden have said in recent days that the country won't default on its obligations. During a Senate appropriations hearing in March, Yellen said her job as Secretary of Treasury is to make sure the bills are paid. She did not indicate what payments would be prioritized, including Social Security. Prioritization in default by another name, she told members of the Senate panel. Not paying any of our bills is default. When you think about the pain that it would cause to Social Security recipients, to food stamp recipients, to vendors who have supplied services, to the government who have their own payrolls to meet, to be told that they're not going to be paid, the government is not doing or going to honor those bills. That's a default. The secretary said that the payment systems were set up to pay all government bills when they are due, noting that they're not set up to divide payments into different types of general matter. For many agencies, payments of all different types are mixed together in ways that couldn't be disentangled. They're playing with the payment systems. They're going to continue to fuck with the payment systems, and they're gonna make it as bad as they possibly potentially can, uh, for everybody. So, some of you that have been paying your bills at the beginning of the month, or knowing when your bills are being paid, now all of a sudden you're not getting your Social Security payment until mid-month because your name doesn't end when they want it to. Now, in the past, I totally remember actually being on food stamps in Minnesota, and actually uh, that way I could actually pay my bills. And I was single. You didn't need to actually have family to actually get food stamps. This is where most people actually went. You could get food stamps just by simply applying for it and meeting certain conditions. So, not getting a payment on time and getting them at the end of the month could really make somebody almost starve. You could, if they're not paying attention and they only have so many dollars that last so long and they don't get their payment until the end of the month, that's 27 potential days of them not realizing, because if they got paid at the first, it's just of them not realizing that they were actually going to get something. Shai Ekabus, the head of economic policy in the Bipartisan Policy Center, told a local media station that many questions remain if the federal government defaults. We've never been there as a country. Akabas remarked that 10 News in San Diego, what would occur likely is an economic downturn which could affect pocketbooks of the Americans in a number of different ways. First, we could be we could see delayed payments that Americans are anticipating from the federal government in the form of programs and other assistance. We could see significant increases in interest rates. So there you go. So a significant increase in interest rate, that could be dangerous in itself when you actually think about it. If interest rates go up, all of a sudden your normal payments that you've actually been paying on your cars, your houses, your whatever it is, all of a sudden interest rates go up, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm no longer able to actually pay off anything on the base, and I'm just paying the interest. That could be very dangerous in the future for anybody. My dad isn't going to be happy with this. He still works though, but I know Social Security payments are part of his budget. Yep, exactly. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit a lot of people, and it's gonna get really dangerous real quick. Poor nutrition makes you stupid, and being stupid makes you more inclined to have poor nutrition. Poverty spiral. Yeah, in itself, that can actually be um, damaging, damaging in itself if that's something that actually does occur. And we see it happening over and over again. But one thing's for sure, according to Yellen, is that there would be a widespread financial chaos if a default occurs. We would simply not have enough cash to meet all of our obligations. She warned during an ABC News interview that it's widely agreed that financial and economic chaos would ensue. The standoff was rattled investors, sending the cost of insuring exposure to U.S. government debt to record highs as Wall Street grows more concerned about the risks of an unprecedented default. Biden signaled an openness to Republicans' demand to claw back some unused money from COOF relief, which is less than $80 billion. Meanwhile, the White House reiterated it's backing a legislation speeding government permitting of energy projects by setting maximum timelines. So, as opposed to actually saying, okay, you take your time to build those wind turbines, those solar panels, and deploy them, correctly. Well, now you're limited on time, so, let's just get them out there. Let's hurry up. Let's go. We need this to happen now because the second that we're no longer resident of the United States of America, y things could actually go, totally drastically the other way. Rates climbing, houses not selling because of it. Yeah, I can imagine. I could imagine. There's gonna be some, going back to, uh the days of actually having families live with families. You're gonna have to actually, move in with parents and have everybody in the same household so that way, you can actually afford to actually live. Solar panels, such a joke. Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, setting permitting of energy projects with setting maximum timelines on them. It just kind of is like you can't do that. You can't speed up something. You have to actually allow it to actually, take its time to actually occur. Otherwise, you're gonna there's gonna be some other issues, and they're gonna actually try shutting down fire coal plants and stuff like that or whatever, and put all this stuff in place in a short, timely manner so that it happens before you know Joe Biden's no longer there. Uh, I guess we can say impeach the potato. A White House fact sheet distributed on Wednesday said that the administration supports the important reforms contained in a bill by Senator Joe Manchin. Republicans have not endorsed the bill, but say permitting reforms would help the United States maintain its edge in oil and gas development. Democrats see it as boosting the development of clean power projects. The last time the nation got this close to default was in 2011 when Democrat President Barack Obama was in office. Republicans led the House and the Senate was controlled by Democrats. So, you look at the things that are happening now here in 2023. You look back at, what was happening in 2011 and it's not too far off. Obviously, they're not going to allow it to actually default. They're going to actually do whatever they can to actually pull it out of that default and, uh, you know, keep government running. They can't not allow government to run. It takes away their own paycheck. They know that. They know that. They're not dumb. They know exactly what's going on. Let's see. Let's kind of kick it over here a little bit. So then, here you go. You got this guy here, Representative George Santos, arrested on fraud, money laundering, and theft charges. Must they get so dirty and need cleaning? They like a dirty window. I have an uncle that actually had several solar panels. He said that it would work great during the summer months or whatever. The second you get into winter months or whatever, and you didn't produce anything, it's like by the time the year came up, he said that he was pretty much zeroing himself out. I'm like, that sounds like fun. What a huge amount of money to not have to pay an electricity bill. It's ridiculous. Representative George Santos was arrested on federal criminal charges on May 10th in relation to the alleged scheme of involving fraud, money laundering, and theft of public funds. The 13-count indictment unsealed on May 10th charges Santos, 34, with defrauding prospective political supporters by laundering funds to pay for his personal expenses and illegally receiving unemployment benefits while he was employed. He is also accused of making false statements to the House of Representatives, but his assets, income, and liabilities. So, 13 counts. Defrauding prospective political supporters by laundering funds, illegally receiving unemployment benefits. Now, I don't know what it's like in every single state. I do know what the unemployment benefits thing is like in Minnesota, especially just after Koolfrogg occurred. Um, there was money that they were giving out. And it was either you take the money or they're going to give it to somebody else. So you took the money. You took the money and you did what you could. I built this. I built this, with, several monitors, a PC, and uh, an actual will to actually want to do something different. So I mean, thank you to the United States government for helping me out. you know, and so when you actually seriously think about it, it's it's kind of hard to actually illegally receive unemployment benefits. Usually, the state that you're in actually checks that stuff. Now, this is what the state of New York. So, state of New York, may not have the same rules or laws on some of their stuff, and it may have been easy enough for them to actually get around it. Um, Now, will he get charged with that? Probably not. 13 count indictment. You'd probably pick up one or two, and the rest of it will just go away. Always take the earmarks. Okay. He's also accused of making false statements to the House of Representatives, but his assets, income, and liabilities. This indictment seeks to hold Santos accountable for various alleged fraudulent schemes and brazen misrepresentations. U.S. Attorney of the Eastern District of New York, Breon Peace, said in a statement. Taken together, the allegations in the indictment charge Santos with relying on repeated dishonesty and deception to ascend to the halls of Congress and enrich himself. He used political contributions to line his pockets, unlawfully applied for unemployment benefits that should have gone to New Yorkers who had lost their jobs due to pandemic, and lied to the House of Representatives. The first term congressman was arrested in the morning of May 10th. And they're just going to continue to repeat themselves over and over again so that hopefully we actually catch the point that he's actually being indicted on, several multiple charges. It's going to be something that's probably going to be looked at, by several people. Santos, being what he is, I was unemployed during COOF. There's no requirement to look for work. No, exactly. Exactly. There was no requirement. There was no requirement, which allowed you to basically run out the duration of all funds that were available. So I don't know what it's like in every other state. I don't know if the laws are the same. I can only go off of what I know. So um, the requirement to not look for work in the state of Minnesota gave me the I don't. It was like a year and 3 months, year and 4 months, because they put the extension on there. It was ridiculous how many months of unemployment were actually able to be pushed through, and the amount of money that was actually be given to every single person, which we all know that all gets paid back by somebody. You want to guess who that gets paid back by? Yep, you and I. Yep, exactly. Even after 6 months, this usually lasts. I was able to get money for a year. Yeah. According to the Department of Justice, Santos used an LLC to deceive potential political backers during a successful congressional campaign in September 2022. Santos hired New York political consultant to contact potential contributors and authorize them to mislead donors um, that their money would be used to assist in electing him to the House, including by buying TV ads. Prosecutors said two donors allegedly transferred $25,000 to the LLC's bank account, which Santos controlled based on these fraudulent assertions. The indictment also alleges that Santos moved the cash into his personal bank accounts to launder them. Santos allegedly spent much of that money on himself, using it to buy clothes, pay off debts, and transfer money to acquaintances and withdrawing it as cash. Yeah, transferring money to acquaintances. That's what he was doing. I don't think that's what he was actually doing. I doubt he was just transferring money. Anybody else want to guess on that one on what he would actually be purchasing, receiving, doing? That's so funny. Do some more drugs, Mr. Santos. Prosecutors also allege Santos made a fraudulent June 2020 application for unemployment benefits under the the Relief and Economic Securities Act. As Santos is alleged to have received unemployment insurance through the New York State Department of Labor by falsely claiming to have been unemployed from March 2020, benefits that he received through April 2021. No, and that's where I said better part of a year, because this is pretty much where it was, where all of us that were uh, yanked out of our jobs because of this particular issue, March till April. March till April. There's so many of us that actually drew these funds on these dates. So, uh, if, being alleged to receive these benefits and not confirming them, I mean, there had to have been more behind it on what actually occurred for this to actually happen. At the height of the pandemic in 2020, George Santos allegedly applied for received unemployment benefits while he was employed and running for Congress. District, District Attorney of Nassau County, Annie T. Donnelly, said in a statement the congressman was so charged with allegedly misleading the House of Representatives that the public about his financial conditions during the two congressional campaigns. The congressman was legally required to file a financial disclosure statement before each election and certify that it was true, complete, and correct. So that's where some fraud's going to come into play, because if he actually marked it at any other way so that he was actually able to go and file for the unemployment, he's screwed. You pick up a fraud case on that because you lied. You completely and totally lied about it to actually get something, more than what you're already getting. Now, why would somebody in government feel that it's necessary to do such a thing? Who needs all that money to pay off all their debts and whatnot and this, that, and the other? And they get paid enough. I really do believe that. If he was a liberal, they would have looked the other way. Not that I condone his behavior. I mean, it says that he's a Democrat, so they're still not looking the other way, so right, Democrat. Is that what that was? Republican, I knew. So yeah, exactly why they're not looking the other way. Exactly that. If it was Democrat, they would have been like, nothing happened here. You don't need to see anything. Yeah, he's Republican. So when it comes down to it, it's really seriously interesting that they're actually bringing this guy up on these charges or whatever. When there's probably some other people that did some mishandling of funds that may be the ones that we should actually be looking at, as opposed to looking at this guy. Now, I'm not going to condone his behavior, just like Sheeple Hunter said, but at the same time, treat everybody the same. You don't get to actually pick and choose who you're going to actually, throw charges at. Look at everybody. Look at everybody and all the misdoings that they've actually been doing in the last 60 years. I mean, I don't know. The indictment also alleges that Santos moved the cash into his personal bank accounts To launder them, Santos allegedly spent much of the money. Oh, I read that one. Um, at the height of the pandemic in 2020, George Santos allegedly applied for and received unemployment benefits while he was employed in running for Congress. The congressman was also charged with allegedly misleading the House of Representatives and public about his financial conditions during the two congressional campaigns. The congressman was legally required to file a financial disclosure statement before each election and certify that it is true, complete, and correct. The indictment alleges that in May 2020, Santos filed two disclosures in which he falsely certified that his only earned income was salary, commission, and bonuses from one of his companies. The indictment states that Santos overstated the income he received from the company and failed to disclose the salary he received from an investment firm. Uh, investment firms. Hmm, that's something. Investment firms. Think about investment firms, and we think back, and we think back to almost every single member of Congress and all the investment firms that they're actually tied to. Everyone, including Kevin McCarthy, this guy that we're actually going to talk about next. When you actually think about it, every single one of them do the same thing. I've said it several times and I'll continue to say it. I think each member of Congress should have to wear like a NASCAR jacket that actually shows every single investment that's tied to them and what they're actually, who's paying them to do their job. Because when the second that you know that, you're just going to be like, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want anything to do with, almost every single person in Congress. I say almost, but I would almost think that would be every. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy didn't say that Santos must leave the House of Representatives in light of the criminal charges from the Biden administration's Justice Department. I'll look at the charges McCarthy told reporters on May 9th during a press conference mainly focused on debt ceiling negotiations with President Joe Biden. Santos' office didn't respond by press time to a request from the Epoch Times for comment. So, when it actually comes down to it, he might actually be able to keep his congressional seat. What? Why? That's not right. It's not fair. And that's very disturbing in itself to actually think about it. Remove him. Remove him immediately. He does not deserve that position. All right, let's. Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein. Now, she fell ill several months ago and has not been seen, has not been around for anything that has actually gone through Congress, through the Senate. She's old. She's 89 years old. They need to actually remove this person. I know she's retiring. She's retiring. It'll be fine. So, Senator Dianne Feinstein, 89, will return to Washington on Tuesday after months-long absence due to illness. Her spokesperson said restoring Democrats' 51-49 majority in full strength. The 89-year-old California Democrat announced in early March that she had been hospitalized in San Francisco and was being treated for a case of shingles. But an expected return later that month never happened. The last voted in Senate on February, in her absence has spurred calls for her to resign. Now we've covered this a couple times. that she needs to actually resign. What is up, America's shirts?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
What is
Anyway,
up? Good to see you. So,
freaking Feinstein.
Yeah, talking about Diane Feinstein at the moment. We do have a hard out in about at the top of the next hour. So
A hard out.
Yep, we gotta be done at midnight so that I can have enough time to sleep for morning. So let's see, where was I? A few details emerged from Feinstein's condition, and some Democrats openly complained that her lengthy absence was compromising the Democrat agenda in the Senate, including slowing the push to confirm Joe Biden's judicial nominees. Some of the House urged her to step down. Earlier this month, Feinstein said in a statement that there has been no slowdown. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer confirmed Feinstein's return in a statement that said he was pleased. My friend Diane is back in the Senate and ready to roll up her sleeves and get to work. Thanks, Chucky. Feinstein's office said that she was traveling and expected to be in Washington on Tuesday evening. It is not immediately clear when she would appear for the Senate for evening votes. Feinstein, who took office in 1992, announced earlier this year that she would not seek re-election in 2024. Now, this is the stuff that's being that she's allowed to come back into the seat of being a senator
at the ripe old age of 863 years old, was it?
It's right at the age of 89.
Well, close enough.
Right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think that she can actually perform.
I don't think she would give a good performance about anything anyway. Her face is melting off. Like, I mean, it's droopy. Like it's pretty bad. Like there are some old people that age gracefully. She has not aged gracefully at all. None of these whackers have, by the way. Trina Crumb. Excuse me. Sorry, it's just a little cough there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're all clear. We're all clear.
She needs some of Nancy's ice cream. Just maybe.
Some Nancy's ice cream.
Oh, let's see.
Well,
here.
the thing is, Nancy does not share her ice cream. Not even.
She doesn't share. Paul. No, there's no way she's going to share her ice cream.
That's why. That's why I was myself. I was very happy with Trump not sharing his ice cream. It speaks. It
okay.
Big spoilers.
Fetterman versus Feinstein in any mental skills task. Who wins? Oh my lord. Good question, Sheeple Hunter. Who wins? We win. They're going to be there forever. Moose says Nancy's ice cream is just cold churned steam cells or stem cells. You don't want that ice cream. Yeah, you really don't want her ice cream.
It is a acquired taste.
Let's see here. So the senator has faced questions of recent years about her cognitive health and memory that has appeared increasingly frail though she has defended her effectiveness. Last month, facing pressure over her extended absence, Feinstein made the unusual request to be temporarily replaced on the Judiciary Committee. At the time, she said her recovery had been delayed because of the complications and provided no date on her return. Republicans in the closely divided chamber rejected the request, saying Democrats only wanted a stand-in to push through Biden's most partisan judicial nominations. Which, now that she's back, now they can actually just push them through any way that they want. So there's judicial nominations that are actually going to be coming down. We should actually see quite a few of them happening within the next few weeks being completed. And it's all going to be, Democrat appointed. So the California representative, Ro Khanna, a progressive, was the first to call for Feinstein to resign, playing in mid-April. This is the moment of crisis for women's rights and voting rights. It's unacceptable to have Senator Feinstein miss vote after vote to confirm judges who will uphold reproductive rights. And that's what it comes down to, is that right there. Reproductive rights. Every single time. It comes down to that every single time for Democrats. That's their main talking point. They have no other talking point but that. Well, there might be a couple, but that's one of their big ones. The politically moderate Feinstein has long had strained relations with moderate.
Who the freak says this moderate? Oh, is this the Guardian?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. I have to drop a few IQ points just to be able to understand that. I have to watch a little bit of some Alexander Emmerich Jones after that to regain my brain cells, regain my IQ points. Anyways,
sure. The politically moderate Feinstein has long strained relations with the Democratic Party's left wing. A handful of other progressives have also called for her resignation. The New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez added her powerful voice to the press.
Powerful voice. God.
You notice how they emphasized added her powerful voice.
Her powerful booming voice. Her voice echoes across the lands of America. Brings all of the children to come vote and all.
Pretend that you got huge horse teeth to speak with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Be like, her refusal to either retire or show off is causing great harm to the judiciary, precisely where reproductive rights are getting stripped.
Thank you for the most accurate depiction of Alexandria Ocasio occasional cortex I have ever heard in my life. Bravo. Perfect. Because that's exactly what she should sound like. Anyway.
Democrats' worries are further heightened as lawmakers have been spending 2023 arguing over raising the nation's borrowing authority. Feinstein could provide crucial support for whatever debt limit bill comes before the Senate that would avert the first ever default on U.S. debt. But leading national Democrats remain largely silent about her absence. The White House has expressed support for a very serving senator and wished her a speedy recovery. Yeah, sure they did. Given her age and health problems, Feinstein is likely to face continued questions about her ability to serve.
How many is this now? Can we count them? Do we have enough fingers and toes to count how many people are on the Democrat side, especially that are actually fit to serve? Can we count them anymore? I don't know. I mean, especially with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I might be able to, but you with your simple mind that can't count past 10 might have issues.
Well, again, as I stated, I have to lower my IQ points just to be able to understand this. So, I haven't gone to the extent of putting on my libtard hat. That would be bad. But
Given her age and health problems, Feinstein is likely to face continued questions about her ability to serve. If Feinstein decides to step down during her term, it would be up to Gavin Newsom, the Democrat governor, to fill the vacancy. And that's where we were all concerned with in the first place.
AKA the Joker.
Right. Who would actually, be pushed and thrust into that position had that actually occurred?
People have been throwing his name around for the presidency too for a while, and I haven't. I mean, again, there hasn't been any announcements. There hasn't been anything said. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But yeah, his name was floating around there for a while, and also the fact that like he flew around with the president, and with a lot of these different people for whatever reason. I don't know. It was just yeah, he was actually escort. So escort through Asia. So yeah, so that was why he was over there allegedly by them. And of course he, changed the curtains in the White House and everything else for some reason. And so people were speculating like, he's being positioned to do this, but I haven't heard anything from that yet. And now Potato Biden has now announced that he's running, so I don't know. And then I hear people like, oh, is it Big Mike Obama is going to start running? It's like, oh my God. I don't think so, but that's what some people are starting to speculate. I don't think there's much justification to that speculation myself, but anywho's.
Right.
Anywho's, now they're talking about him taking the Senate seat. God, his name's being floated around everywhere. And just think, if he goes to the Senate, who the hell is California going to get for the governor? It's going to be like 10 times worse.
Right? Sheeple Hunter says, time for bed. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Frog and Nancy Pelosi. I mean, American Shirts. Yes. That's America Shirts, all one word.
Ourfirst.com.
Our first.
My website.
.com.
Get my t-shirts. You want to support me? Get my t-shirts.
Go buy a t-shirt. You got one
They're
with Nancy Pelosi
extremely
on it?
based.
You should get one.
It will make libtards like melt like instantaneously. When you walk down the street, a libtard sees it, they will just like turn into a pool of like, I don't know, libtardy tears or something. They'll just like melt into nothing.
Let's see here. So if Feinstein decides to step down during her term, we read that one. The leading candidates include Democrat U.S. Representative Barbara Lee, Katie Porter, and Adam Schiff. Now, this is the part that just like floors me, because this is the Guardian, right? Lee is black. Gee, thanks. Thanks for pointing out, something that we might not already know. Glad that we can actually, put, a color on that, so that we can actually take an informed opinion on all of it.
Right.
Thank you so much.
According to the Guardian, he's the black one.
She.
So
Barbara Lee. She.
Oh, yes. All right. What the hell?
Yeah. No, it's okay. Well, I mean, I would assume so anyway.
I mean, right? Like we can't assume people's genders now. God, have we not learned enough? Have we not learned this lesson yet?
Trump 2024. Love you, Frog. Love you too, Leslie. Thank you so much for being around. The leading candidates include Democrat U.S. Representative Barbara Lee. Lee is black, and becoming an incumbent could be a decisive advantage in the contest, but it's not known if Newsom would consider Lee, given that she is already running for the seat. Porter and Schiff are white, and say zero more things about that. Use code winning reality for absolutely zero things, and to get yourself absolutely zero things. It's not an actual code.
Actually, false advertisement, not true. Anyway,
Feinstein has groundbreaking political career and shattered gender barriers from San Francisco City Hall to the corridors of the Capitol Hill. She served as San Francisco's first female mayor and was first elected to Senate in 1992. During that year, nicknamed the Year of the Woman, The number of female U.S. senators doubled, and California became the first state to be represented by two women, Feinstein and fellow Democrat Barbara Boxer. So what it comes down to is we know that she's actually going to be back. She's going to come back. They're going to push through all the stuff that they need to push through, do what they need to do, and then they're going to actually go and turn around and where'd you go?
Huh? What?
My brain farted. Thank you so much, Leslie Kohler, for the 20. Love you, Frog. Love you too. Thank you so much. So sweet. Lost my train of thought on that one. She distracted me. So awesome. What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
What? Who?
Stop it. Stop it.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't. What are you? I don't know. What
Let's see. Where are we at? An hour? Got another hour to go. So, this one's actually kind of hilarious. I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. It's so funny. We should be able to get through like 3 articles, is my assumption. This is Eric Swalwell gets hilariously roasted after being fact-checked by Twitter. Representative Eric Swalwell fell into another trap of mockery after making false accusations about former President Trump. Fact-checkers quickly pointed out that the noticeable mistake Swalwell made when trying to bash Trump and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The Democrat claimed that Trump had been convicted of sexual assault. Not true. It's simply not true. It is simply not true. If you actually go and you look at it, and we'll actually cover more Trump stuff tomorrow morning. So we're going to do a lot of Trump stuff tomorrow. So the idiocy of any Democrat or anybody to actually say that he'd actually been convicted is lie. It's a straight up lie. Not true. However, Trump was acquitted of sexual assault. Instead, a jury found him liable, but not found guilty. So this is exactly it right here. See that? Liable, but not guilty. And Swalwell is going around and actually, spreading disinformation.
Well, because see, Swalwell thinks that everybody else would do what he would do in certain situations, and so he's just assuming that people just act and think as he does. So it's a little bit of a confession through projection. Let's just say, maybe that's a little bit of that. Shall we say, fang, fang, bang, bang. Anyways, because that's kind of how his brain works. He just, has adulterous relationships and does other weird things. So, hey, so he just assumes that everybody else is just as much of a crazed wacko as he is, when it comes to, abusing people and going around and, sleeping around with other women while you're married. So, hey, he's, a little bit of confession through projection there, I think, shall we say.
Right. Thanks to Twitter's official fact-checking rules, Swalwell's tweet was flagged by a social media platform explaining that the Democrats' accusation was factually inaccurate. Convictions of the authority in criminal courts only. Civil litigations only deal with liability. Trump was found liable. No determination of guilt has been made by the jury.
Can I just say that Twitter is fact-checking a Dem?
Right? Exactly. And that's what needs to be happening. You don't get to sit there and fact check one person or the other.
Oh my
when you start fact checking people, you fact check everybody. You fact check everybody the way it's intended to be. everyone believes me. No, nobody believes you winning. And Vicky T, don't feed into his propaganda, his lies. He
Also,
lies.
confessions.
There's no dance T-shirts for half price.
Just confession.
Ain't nobody gonna do half price anything. They'll lose their butt because they'd actually be paying for it themselves. Just saying. So here's Ryan Fournier. This is what it looks like to be a total, complete, stupid idiot. And you see the fact check that gets thrown up on top of it. It's like, yes, that's perfect. Nothing like Fang Fang getting fact checked.
Well, no. It's Fang Fang's lover, whoever this is. Get that right.
Right?
The spy who loved me, right? Isn't that a Bond film? Oh wait, no, it's real life. Anyway,
What was this? There's another thing that's actually in my. Let's see. Was this Senate McCarthy? Let's see. Was this debt limit? Glad they bring back slavery, according to this Democrat.
that guy is a known mental tard. Let's just put it that way.
This guy?
That individual thinks. Don't you remember we played the clips?
Oh yeah.
This is the dude who thought that if you put too many airplanes on, what was it, like Fiji or like Puerto Rico, that the island was going to capsize. He literally thought this was true. This is how stupid and idiotic these people are. They have no damn clue what the hell in the world is going on in reality. They have no clue. They just get paid in a briefcase at the end of the day, and they don't give a damn. They don't care. Pardon my French.
Republicans like to see the migrants lined up at the border because they know that's a stream of labor ready to be exploited with cheap, if any, compensation. I mean, if you could get back to slavery, you would gladly do so. But if you could pay people $1 an hour, you would settle for that. And that's that. And that's the race to the bottom that we have with immigrants lined up at the border trying to get in and go to work. And my Republican friends talk about how they don't like that, how it's a crisis, but yet they savor it. Those folks who are coming across are the ones who are helping to put food on our table. Without them, we're not able to eat. We would have nobody taking care of the building, the construction of our homes. We would have nobody cleaning up in the hospitals. It just, how ignorant.
Oh my God, they have the clip.
Guy.
They have the clip of the Fiji comment. Oh my God, it's right there in the
article.
Oh yeah, I don't even have to pull it up.
No,
I was searching for it. I found it. I was gonna pull it up, but I don't have to do that.
Okay, hold on. I gotta reshare the screen because I had it shared as a window. There's that. This is the one that he actually says all the stuff that I've
disregard everything this person says from here on out. You ever hear this person talk again, just be like, whatever.
This is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place.
Narrow, you piece of shit. It's narrow. Narrow is the word.
on the island and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
Wait. What about the guy? His reaction, the general or whoever, the admiral, whatever's reaction. Oh my God. I mean, this is all you need to know about this.
Wouldn't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
I don't think you would anticipate that with an island.
I don't think anybody really would anticipate that would actually happen.
No, except
that
him.
guy. Right.
Except him. Only person on Earth. Because the only thing he does is act like a dumbass and get a briefcase of cash at the end of the day, and that's all he gives a crap about.
Bring this back to Israel used David's sling missile defense successfully. Ceasefire reported with Islamic Jihad. So, they're actually, ongoing. This is not ever going to just stop. But they're actually saying that there's a potential ceasefire happening, being that they actually, launched this David's sling, an intermediate range missile defense system between the Iron Dome, which is used to intercept short range rockets, the Arrow system, which is used to stop long range ballistic missiles. The system was produced through a joint venture by Israel's Rafael and defense contractors Raytheon in the U.S. Reports, as yet unconfirmed by the Israel's government, suggest that Egypt's government, acting as an intermediary, has been able to broker a ceasefire between Israel and the Islamic Jihad. So, okay. I'd like to actually see how that's actually going to actually stand up, if that's actually going to be something that will actually occur. Launching and intercepting more and more rockets at each other. It doesn't sound like it's that much of a ceasefire to me, but okay. Let's go with that. While we're speaking of countries, other countries that the United States has so deeply invested in, like Israel, you go, look at that. U.S. announces another $1.2 billion in funding for the war in Ukraine.
Yay! Slava Ukraini, Slava Ukraini, Slava Ukraini, Slava Ukraini. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't everybody excited?
So super excited.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be posting like Azov Battalion posters all over my house at this point. I mean, just because it's just so, it's so necessary.
Yeah, do it. Sounds like fun. It's just been announced that the United States is going to give yet another $1.2 billion in funding to the war effort in Ukraine. America is facing massive economic problems at home, but the Biden administration just can't stop shoveling massive amounts of cash into Ukraine.
Wonder why.
There seems to be no end to this.
Oh, wait, because we have a money laundering scheme from the businesses that were set up in other countries through Romania back to the Bidens to feed their coffers, which is what the committee, the oversight committee, Comer's oversight committee, expressly stated in their press conference this morning. So, like, I wonder why they'd be like funneling things. It's not because like freaking, I don't know, Bankman Fried was totally not funding the Democrat National Committee via your tax dollars to Ukraine through all this, FTX bullcrap. Like that totally wasn't happening. Like Nancy Pelosi and all of these people totally are getting money when they send all this stuff over there. Like they're totally not getting a cut. And then it's like, where's all the money going there? Oh, like Zelensky and these other people totally aren't spending the money and then selling weapons and then buying weapons that were left in Afghanistan and then selling that technology to other people. Like, no. None of that crazy, corrupt crap is happening. That's not happening. No. We just love the Ukrainians. Slava Ukraini, right?
Right.
That's the narrative.
Right.
Don't believe your lying eyes. Do not believe your lying ears. When you see wire transfers going into the Biden family coffers, just don't believe it.
So then, this is Gateway Pundit, so they have the tendency to, put
Did
somebody
Comer
else's
have
article.
a Ukrainian flag pin on his lapel when he was giving his speech? I didn't see one. I didn't even see a CIA one. How do we know he's actually telling the truth? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean,
more money.
Sean Hannity wears a CIA pin. That's how I know he's telling me the truth. Why wasn't Comer wearing that earlier this morning when he was giving press conference? That's what I'm.
Nobody watches Fox anymore. Oh wait, nobody ever did. What the fuck? Why were you watching Fox in the first place? Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of people did for Tucker, but hey.
Well, not anymore.
Tucker was like barely even Fox News. He's just like his own entity at Fox News, which is evidently clear now.
Right.
Now that they've lost like 50% of their viewing audience or more, they're literally Fox News's views are literally below at CNN and below sometimes. It's hysterical. I don't know if you can see off to the corner there in the article there's like a picture of Tucker laughing his ass off. So, that's kind of what I feel like with that whole situation. But anyway, back to Slava Ukraini.
All right. So then in Breitbart News reports, it says more money, U.S. to hand over $1.2 billion. It says the Biden administration is set to announce another $1.2 billion in military aid. The package is said to be valued at $1.2 billion. Is reportedly be used to purchase various air defense equipment for the country alongside more ammo for artillery and rocket systems. According to the report by Associated Press, the Joe Biden administration could announce the newest batch of military funding as early as Tuesday, with a package set to coincide with Ukrainian counteroffensive against invading Russian forces. It will bring the U.S.'s total military aid contribution to Ukraine to $36.9 billion since the war began, with the country having already announced multiple separate munitions packages valued at over $1 billion just last month. Unlike many previous American donations, however, the equipment being sent east by the Democrat government as part of the package will reportedly be sourced from existing Pentagon munition stocks. Instead,
just for perspective, people, 36.9 billion is almost $500 billion. Am I correct? No, wait, no. That's incorrect, because a trillion is 1,000 billion, isn't it? Right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. Never mind. It's just like it's just so much cash is flowed over there. It's just like we're giving that they're literally running off of the entire Western world's GDP.
You can pretty much when you look at billion and you look at trillion, if you take the number that you see, 36.9, that's the percentage of the $1 trillion that they've actually pushed. 36.9%. Make sense?
I mean, it's almost as much money as they tried to get Alex Jones to pay for his settlements and stuff,
thousand billion. I'm sorry, 3.69%. So it's just a small percentage. It's really not that big of a percentage. when
Right,
it
right.
comes
In
out.
comparison to what they wanted to have Alex Jones pay
Right,
out, you know.
right.
Alex
We-
Jones has to
we've-
pay out the GDP of France and England combined, but you know, hey,
Right.
it's not. It's just it's you know, this isn't as much as that. So you know, hey,
And to
but
give
we all
you-
know Alex Jones secretly has all that money, right? Like we
To-
all know he
yeah,
has like
to-
a giant gold ball.
Remember, we've actually talked about $1 trillion today. One of the first articles that I covered was this one here, which was actually, oh, you weren't here yet, which is actually the Social Security stuff that they're actually pushing. You can see the Social Security checks could be impacted soon. Here's why. And when you actually look at it, where's the $1 trillion? There it is. Some $1 trillion in Social Security payments at about 67 million people will be paying that. So percentages, when you actually look at numbers, you look at percentages, it really seriously, it's like that's a lot of money.
Tis indeed.
See, unlike many previous American donations, however,
wish I
the
had
equipment being
36.9
sent
billion.
east is part of a package will reportedly not been sourced from existing Pentagon munition stocks. Will reportedly not be sourced. So the new munitions, they're stuff that's actually going to be that's being currently built will be just deployed. Oh, okay, sounds good. Instead,
You know
the
how
federal
long
government-
those munitions are going to take to build? By the way, does anybody know how long it's going to take? Like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
potentially, right?
Unbelievable. But we're already like reserving time and effort and energy and money and space and factories, whatever is left of them,
Right. So
and all the rest of that.
like it says, it's
3
reportedly
years,
not
yes.
sourced from existing Pentagon munitions. So this is new stuff that needs to be built.
Right, it has to be built
So
up
you see
now.
this-
They don't
Right,
have
you
any.
see
more
the next
munition
paragraph
stocks.
on it. Instead, the
We're
federal
out.
government reportedly used taxpayer dollars. Taxpayer dollars. You see that right there? Taxpayer dollars to purchase brand new equipment from various defense contractors, which will be delivered to Ukraine over the coming months and years. This is not sustainable, and everyone knows it.
I mean, literally, like Russia is probably going to kick their ass within probably this year. They may push all the way to Kiev and like force some kind of a treaty there. They might just march their asses in because they could do it. They could do it like tomorrow, probably. But it's just, like the whole thing with the West's influence and all the rest of that. They got to like be real strategic with things. But if they want to actually save face to the world on the world stage too, without the West trying to do some crazy thing. But yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna just and again, ladies and gentlemen, we have no more munitions. We don't have any more. We've literally given away all of our munitions to the Taliban and the Ukrainians. Literally.
And I mean,
We
if you
don't
actually
have
think about
anything.
it, right? You actually think about it because it's not, stuff that's already there. It needs
And then
to-
they're like,
stuff
oh,
that's you're
let's
not
go
built
to
yet.
war with Russia and China. With what?
Right. With what?
Sticks? Slingshots? I mean,
Yeah.
sure, we have some munitions on hand, some, right? Like some. But like we don't have any stockpile. It's all gone.
Right. It's
How are you
gone.
going to sustain a war? And these people are just like, talking about war, just, hey, who cares?
So,
just may have to go to war. Bah! Like, what? With what? Who? Like,
35 minutes of, like I said, hard out. We seriously need sleep for early show. So I really I don't want to screw up either show. I want to keep both shows actually doing this thing here that we're doing. So about 35 minutes here, whatever, and we'll kick out. So this is oversight committee.
Entrepreneurs, woke moralists.
This is the thing that you wanted to cover earlier
a little late with that, sorry.
or yesterday. So no, you're okay. I know that this is something that you found interest in, and I think there's a lot of people that would actually show lots of interest in this if they'd actually open up their mind just a little bit and actually look at some of the stuff that's actually happening. And it says Oversight Committee, Biden family business received over $10 million from Romania, China for unknown work.
And see, this here, and they make over this and like talk about it in a little bit of detail, but like this was going on. This is what we know about, right? Like this is what we have documented in wire transfers, not all the underground stuff. This was totally within the know of everybody in DOJ, everybody in the Treasury, everybody everywhere. They all knew about this. They were trying to get some excess money out, and they got sloppy. And they were trying to get some excess money out from their, their corrupt efforts in these different foreign countries and with the business deals with the Chinese and all the rest of it. This is just a piece of that. And they set up all these shell companies in Romania, and then they started to get all this stuff through Romania over into the Biden family. And we're talking everybody from Haley Biden, Beau Biden's widow. We're talking Hunter. We're talking Joe. We're talking Jim Biden, his brother. Probably Jill Biden, maybe. I mean, because Jill Biden had a room herself in one of these places, not in Romania, but it was in Ukraine, I believe. A whole office to do things, But hey, it's hey, it's totally fine. Totally fine.
Suzanne says, Koolfrogg, I know most of you by voices. My eyes are not good as I can't see who's on panel. It sounds like shirts. Am I right? Yes, you're right.
Well, what gave it away?
It is America Shirts. It's AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com. Only the best shirts on the planet.
It is. They are. Indeed.
Go
grab them.
You get 15% off anything in that store with promo code Koolfrogg.
Koolfrogg. Ribbit.
All right, let's hit this. We hit this article here real quick. So it says the Biden family business over the course of several years received over $10 million from the business schemes in Romania and China in return for what appears to be influence peddling. Bank documents obtained Wednesday by Breitbart News from the House Oversight Committee show. In total, Biden family members and business associates designed a web over 20 companies, many of which were formed during Joe Biden's vice presidency. The committee revealed, in total, the Biden family business associates and companies received over $10 million from foreign nationals companies, the committee found. The funds appear to contradict President Joe Biden's claims that his family received no money from China. The funds also raise questions about the Biden family returned in terms of service or products for the money received. Romanian transactions. From November 2015 to May 2017, Bladen Enterprises paid Robinson Walker LLC over $3 million. Bladen Enterprises is reported to be Gabriel Popovich's Cypriot company that is used to conduct business in Romania. Robinson Walker is the Biden family business partner who collectively sent the Biden family $1.3 million to the family. The Biden family accounted receiving approximately $1.038 million from the Robinson Walker LLC account after Bladen Enterprises deposits. The committee revealed, based upon wire transfers, in total, 16 of the 17 payments from Bladen Enterprises to Robinson Walker LLC were made while Joe Biden was vice president. According to the committee, the payments began to flow to Robinson Walker LLC just after Vice President Biden welcomed Romanian President Klaus Iohannis to the White House in September 28th, 2015. A readout of the meeting stated that Vice President welcomed President Iohannis focus on anti-corruption efforts and rule of law as a means to strengthen national security and promote greater investments in economic growth. Iohannis said Joe Biden voiced satisfaction over Romania's progress with the fight against corruption. 1 year prior, on May 21st, 2014, when Vice President Joe Biden visited Romania and delivered a speech address to the Romanian Prime Minister, judges, prosecutors, and leaders of the parliament, at the time of the speech, Romanian prosecutors were investigating Popovich, who was later charged and convicted with bribery-related offenses. As Breitbart News previously reported, Hunter Biden began working for Popovich in the spring of 2015. According to Hunter Biden's calendar, he met with Joe Biden 3 times from July 2015 to March 2016 about helping Popovich with convictions stemming from his purchase of 550-acre parcel of government-owned land for a steep discount. And gee,
Oops.
who needs 550 acres of land just willy-nilly? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
No big
it's fine.
deal.
It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Totally cool.
Chinese transactions. This is bank records from the committee show that between August 2017 and October 2018, Hudson West III, a company co-managed by Hunter Biden, sent over $4 million to Hunter Biden-related companies and over $75,000 to James Biden-related companies. Gongwing Dong and Hunter Biden were each 50% owners of Hudson West 2. Bank records obtained by the committee show, according to an email verified by Washington Post and Hunter Biden, Gongwen Dong served as Chairman Ye's CEFC emissary in the United States. Oh, just so happens to be some other guy that just so happens to be, somebody that's part of something. No big deal. No big
It just so happens. It's just, there's no. What are you talking about? Hey, it's all in the up and up here. What are you talking about?
Closely connected to the Chinese Communist Party, CEFC Chairman Ye Jingmin also paid Hunter $1 million retainer fee for legal services in 2017. Hunter also received a large diamond from Ye worth an estimated at $80,000 in February 2017. Here, just a simple little gift. Don't worry about it.
Yes, haven't you ever received a simple little gift from a Chinese businessman wanting to influence, peddle into the United States and to the officials of the United States, and received a diamond worth over $80,000 itself? I mean, haven't you received that before, Koolfrogg? Haven't you been offered this before? I mean, everybody has. What's the big deal?
No, I received 0 of those.
Oh, well.
Did you?
I mean,
he doesn't know what to say.
I mean, hey, everybody. I think this is just a common thing. Everybody's offered this, especially when you're in a position like Hunter Biden, being the son of the vice president. You are constantly offered $80,000 worth of diamonds all the time. It's just a thing, like if you go back to freaking I don't know, Calvin Coolidge's kid probably got offered that by some Chinese Chi-Com crazy person. I mean, that's just, I mean, it's just all a part of the gig. It's all a part of the show. And then you take it and then you do business, because that's just how it goes. I mean, everybody does it, right? It's totally fine. Oh, wait, no, actually, it's just him. Oops.
In addition, the committee revealed that Hunter Biden received an additional $100,000 that was sent from Shanghai Hawkson in China. The money was apparently a part of a CEFC deal with Ye Dong. According to the committee, on May 11th, 2017, Dong formed CEFC Infrastructure in Delaware, Hudson West 5, a company that formed a partnership with Hunter Biden. Was a sole equity member of CEFC Infrastructure. Dong identified himself as the director of Hudson West 5 and listed his address in Zhisheng, District, Beijing, China, banking documents show. 1 week later, Hudson West 5 assigned 100% of the interest to Shanghai Hoxton Group Limited, a company incorporated in China. In June 30th, 2017, Shanghai Hoxton funded the CEFC Infrastructure Bank account with an injection of $10 million. About a month later, CEFC Infrastructure wired $100,000 to Owasco PC, Hunter Biden's law firm. The above payments are in addition to what the committee already revealed. On April 17th, Coomer announced a total of 9 Biden family members may have profited from family's international business schemes. 6 more were previously disclosed. Those currently identified on the payroll are Hunter, James, and Haley. The fourth unidentified Biden on and a fourth unidentified Biden. On April 25th, the committee teased releasing the identities. It has so far concealed. A spokesperson for the committee declined to reveal the identities at that time. Collectively, the identified family members received $1.3 million from a Biden associate who was wired $3 million from a Chinese energy company 2 months after President Joe Biden left the vice presidency. Just a trail of money everywhere.
Yeah, because what this is showing is that they were trying to get as much business done and as much things out as quickly as possible because they knew that the Trump administration was going to come up. And so they got sloppy, and so now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing the paper trail and all the rest of this stuff just everywhere. Because they were just like, oh, we don't care. Our deep state lackeys will help, but I mean, we can't necessarily be seen with this. We can't necessarily be all over the place now because Hillary Clinton didn't win the Goblin Queen, so we better make sure that we get much more on the down low or just stop a lot of this altogether until we get back in.
Last couple paragraphs here pretty much just pushes the book. So it says in 2018, 2020, contributing Government Accountability Institute President Peter Schweitzer published Secret Empires and the Profiles of Corruption. Each book hit #1 in the New York Times bestseller list and exposed how Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, flew aboard Air Force Two in 2013 to China from Hunter's firm, inked a $1.5 billion deal with a subsidiary of the Chinese government's Bank of China. Less than 2 weeks after the trip, Schweitzer's work also uncovered the Biden's family other vast and lucrative foreign deals and cronyism. Breitbart political editor Emma Jo Morris's investigative work in the New York Post on the Hunter Biden laptop from hell also captured international headlines when she, along with Miranda Devine, revealed that Joe Biden was ultimately involved in Hunter's businesses, appearing to have a 10% stake in the company in the Cyan formed with
Are we still live? It's not my internet, is it? No, I don't think so. What's happening? What is happening here? Well, allow me to give a little bit of commentary on all of this, a little bit of analysis. All of this stuff we already knew was going on in greater and vaster quantities. But see, all we got was the big guy, right? Like in all of the business dealings with Hunter and Joe Biden, it was always 10% for the big guy. Uh-oh. Are we... How do I change? Oh, there we go. Is this going to work? Did we get cut off? Well, until Koolfrogg returneth. This is weird. Anyway, FBI probably, busted in, probably got him, We'll have to hear on the news, some dude by the name of Frog was arrested by the FBI for being too based and red-pilled. But anyway, but I mean, this is why this is so big and such a big deal, is that we don't, in the Hunter Biden laptop and everything else, all we got was like quotes like the big guy, we got claims, we had all that stuff. And that stuff is enough in and of itself. That's enough circumstantial evidence to go after somebody for sure. But now we have literal wire transfers from some of these people through Romania. Excuse me, through Romania, and right directly to the Bidens. Because apparently they got sloppy with all of this laundering and all of the, dirty business deal stuff. They got sloppy. And, because they were kind of desperate because, oh my God, they could see ahead and, Trump was going to come in and not Hillary Clinton, the Goblin Queen. And so they were like, oh my God, the Goblin Queen herself, she's not going to be the president. So they're trying to get some money out of this or get the remainder of what's left or get some, remaining deals done, whatever, and like get this and get that done and into their coffers. And as a result, excuse me, what ended up happening is they got caught, and here we are. And a whistleblower came out as well. The guy that's there that helped coordinate a lot of these deals, this Popovich type individual who's Romanian. He, I believe, is the whistleblower himself. Right? Yeah. He's the whistleblower himself. And so, yeah, I mean, this is a big deal. This is huge. This is impeachment level stuff. This is what they were going to try to get Trump on all the time because, oh, he was going to do this with Ukraine. Oh, he had a bad phone call with Ukraine. We literally have wire transfers from the Chi-Coms to Joe Biden. Literal money from the Chi-Coms going directly to the current potato in chief. Okay? Dare I call him the commander in chief, because he doesn't command anything. He doesn't even command his own bowels, let alone command anything in government. But yeah, this is a huge deal. And as I have scrolling on the bottom of the screen here, impeach the potato, because indeed we need to impeach the potato. Impeach this frickin' potato. But yeah, this is absolutely impeachment level stuff. As if the other evidence wasn't impeachment level stuff enough, now we have literal names and wire transfers. It's unbelievable. We have it all. We have everything. And we have a Koolfrogg guy.
Yeah, this damn computer. I moved my office again. I moved back into the room that I was originally in. I don't have my computer plugged into Ethernet cable.
Oh, wow.
Yep. The wireless, just like us, and they decided to take a crap and decided to actually kick me out and required me to actually restart the computer before I could actually do anything, which sucks in itself. Did you catch the whole article? Did I read the whole thing before I?
Yes. Yeah, you got the whole thing done, and then it cut out.
Okay. So, we'll do one more thing before we leave here. We'll do a little fun little. We like to pick on this lady because it's fun to pick on her. Whoopi Goldberg makes confession live on The View, and no one should have to hear it.
Oh my God, that's right. It brings the nickname of Whoopee Cushion. It gives it a whole new meaning. Actually, is what it is. I mean, there's a reason why apparently the flatulence that we have all heard spewing forth live on TV is very loud and proud and has absolutely no muffling to it at all. I think there's a reason for this. And I think she makes it expressly clear here. as we will hear and also read.
Good to see you, P Beaver. I see you over there on that Rumble side.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
So, let's read this here real quick before we actually do go in. It says, The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg confessed on Wednesday that she does not wear underwear. Goldberg began by talking about recent Washington Post story about underwear and traveling. You know, we talk about really deep things here. This is one of them. It's so hard to discuss. I'm going to bring it up. It's a great underwear debate. Apparently, the Washington Post wrote about what they call the next great travel debate. How much underwear do you take when you pack? People apparently had really strong opinions. I don't wear underwear, so it's not a question I have to think about, but I will throw it in. What? I'll throw it to you all. Gross. Now, I'm not against people free ball and whatever, not wearing underwear. If that's what they want to do and not want to, wear the underwear, it's fine.
I mean, but she needs some kind of undergarment to absorb the corn syrup, the rotting egg and mixed with corn syrup oozing out of her pores. Like, I mean, there needs to be something there. Like the fat nodules need something to hold themselves up. Otherwise, it's just going to flop all over the floor.
Welcome back. Okay. We talk about really deep things here. And this is one of them. And it's so hard to discuss, but I'm going to bring it up.
Like she's going to cry. Like she's going to cry because it's so hard to bring up about your own personal issues in life that you don't like to wear underwear. Fucking own that shit, bitch. What the fuck?
Well, she's trying to be funny or, like passively funny or like, funny. This isn't even funny. Like this isn't funny. She's
tears.
not funny.
Can you see that? She's literally in tears. Because she's actually revealing that she doesn't wear underwear.
It's the great underwear debate. Apparently, the Washington Post wrote about what they call the next great travel debate. How much underwear do you take when you pack? People apparently had really strong opinions. I don't wear underwear, so it's not a question I have to think about. But I will throw it to you all.
It's a 14-day trip.
I still don't bring underwear.
I still don't.
No, as a matter of fact, half the time she goes around butt naked because she can't find clothes that will wrap that enormous body of hers, or equator, or planetary mass. Like there's nothing. I mean, people make jokes about like getting bed sheets to fit fat people. We can't find 80 bed sheets to fit this person. Like, it's just ridiculous. So maybe the reason why she doesn't wear underwear is because there's no underwear at this point that will fit her. Maybe that's the reason why. Like, maybe when she was younger, when she was like more, I don't know, like humanoid size, you could say, right? Where she wasn't this giant amorphous blob, of mass that's now has its own like gravitational field and force. Before all of that happened, with all the Twinkies and KFC, she, I guess she may have worn underwear, but now apparently
maybe
there's just nothing on the store shelves that can do that. She can gravitationally pull in all of the fabric that she wants, and it's just going to go right around the equator. It's not going to cover everything, Like, where is this? Where does this exist? This is so discriminatory against planetary-sized people. I mean, it's just, it's unreal. Koolfrogg, it's like, it's
so
it's
14-day trip,
or it's sizes.
We should just answer the question. 14-day trip. How many pairs of underwear you take with you?
We should answer the question.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a t-shirt, so like, you know, it's a little bit different.
14-day trip. How many pairs of underwear you take with you?
I mean, you're a frog. Like, how many does a frog take?
Well, apparently the debates between taking 14 and taking just 5. I mean,
Really? I didn't even see that part. I don't know. People are weird. People are weird. People are strange. And some people are enormously sized. And she's one of them. So, anyway.
The last 2 paragraphs there. So, Gunther reportedly discovered that there are individuals who bring a pair of underwear for each day, and those who bringing, for example, 5 pairs for a 14-day trip is suitable. So it really depends on the person. So you don't have a mistake one day.
Depends. It depends. Anyway.
PB says it seems
Walk
like
right
that's a
into that.
topic no one should discuss. It almost seems that way, doesn't it?
It would definitely seem that way, yes. It also seems like we have more Rumblers than we do YouTubers at this point. Oh no, it's almost equal now.
We kind of did at one point in time. We were up to like
40. Wonderful.
I'm visiting from Malloy's Live to smash the like button. Thank you, Jay-Z. Good to see you, brother.
Donker.
So
Slava Ukrainian.
Malloy's Live. Okay. Sounds fun.
When is Malloy not live?
All that being said,
I think that's the actual question. When is he not actually live?
Right.
I think we have to find that answer.
That is
I
a
don't know.
legit question.
I mean, when he's at like the grocery store or something, or like when he, or you know, somebody like or like when he's eating or something like that. You know, like I mean, it's I guess we have like time that out anyway.
He is live or he isn't live? Because I don't see his live. Let's just send everybody there. Again, all that being said, thank you all so very, very much for showing up, for watching our wonderful show that we have going on here tonight. Like I said, I want to actually try bringing this show back to where it was, and continue to do that. So, I'll see you tomorrow morning with myself and Talking Trash and Truth. We will do a Trump conversation, being that there's so much that happened with Trump in the last few days. And it should be fun, good time. I'm sure we'll talk about more than just Trump when it comes down to it. I'm sure we'll deviate and do some other things. If you haven't already, make sure that you take yourself to americashirtsaretfirst.com
and buy the most base t-shirts on the freaking planet, ladies and gentlemen. With the discount code of Koolfrogg, you can save 15% on anything in the store. So you should totally go check it out. There's a little bit of construction going on the website. I got a couple things a little bit wrong with like some of the appearances on the front page for whatever reason. Like it kind of bugged out on me, so I have to fix that. It's kind of like, you know, it's as though you're looking at it from a cell phone perspective, but it's like on your PC. Like if you're looking at it from there, so like everything looks like it's on like a cell phone or something for whatever reason. I don't know why it bugged, but it's bugged, so I gotta fix it. But everything should still function. Everything should still function. It's all good. You know, go there. You know, like find your shirts, post it up. We got the Abolish 3-letter agencies line there. We got, you know, we got lovely funny meme shirts. We've got other different things there. Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and I'm hoping to make abolish the ATF, and I'm also looking into hoodies.
Ooh.
I've heard a couple requests.
I
for
might be a
hoodies.
little bit more interested in that myself. All of that being said, again, thank you.
Oh,
You.
my Rumble! How can you forget?
We
How
will
could
see
anybody
you
forget my
tomorrow
Rumble?
morning.
America's Shirt
If you haven't brought yourself over to Rumble, I mean, I don't know what your problem is. Get over there anyway. If something happens here, that's where we go. We go straight directly to Rumble. Like
I mean,
we're
I
already
want to
doing.
create the internet 3.0. I don't think Rumble wants to be part of that, so go over there.
So, thank you again. Love y'all. Later.
Later, peeps.